Action News AM at 6. Watch what happens when you get up.
11 o'clock Southern California. This is Channel 2 Action News. With Bree Walker, Jim Lampley, Steve Rambo Weather, and Keith Olbermann Sports. Channel 2 Action News Nightcast.
Good evening. Here's what's happening. The Christopher Commission released more damning transcripts today. Transcripts taken from computers in LAPD patrol cars. First of all, a warning. The language may be offensive to some. Chris Blatchford has details.
Thank you. The Christopher Commission handed out a 94-page copy of computer transmissions this morning with no comment. But Commission member Leo Estrada later told Channel 2, as commissioners read the transcripts, they were overwhelmed by what they saw.
Police department here that was allowing behavior that was totally reprehensible to us.
The MTD transcript focused on several categories, one being racial ethnic. For example, you can see the color of the interior of the vehicle, dig. You stops cars with black interior. Bees they Naugahyde, Negro hide. Other messages discussed excessive force or beatings. For instance, beating time is near. Where you be? In the projects. Raj. Good hunting. Other conversations reflected women bias. Guess it never pays to be nice to screaming bitches. Nor did gays escape the computer messages. Did your fag have AIDS? Probably they all do. Jail is the perfect place for them. Has all the boys around. Boy, is he lucky. And several transmissions suggested white supremacy feelings. KKK, you there? I'm off this Friday. Single, let's do lunch. By the way, do you still have the KKK meeting on Friday? Some cops suggest much of what is on these pages is merely gallows humor to ease tension on a tough job. But Police Protective League President George Aliano says that doesn't matter.
It's embarrassing. It's not tolerated. It's not acceptable, and it shouldn't be there.
Chris Blatchford, Channel 2 Action News.
Mayor Bradley is angry about the tone of those messages, and he blamed police department leadership for allowing them to occur.
And the real issue is what was done about it. What kind of management control was exercised in these cases? And it's not just 2 or 3 officers. This thing cuts across the whole department and is something which I think has to be dealt with in a very vigorous fashion.
The mayor once again called on Chief Daryl Gates to reevaluate his position and then resign.
And the release of the Christopher Commission report appears to have cost Chief Gates some critical support. A majority of city council members now say the chief should think about stepping down. Today, 8 council members said Gates should follow the Christopher Commission recommendation and begin the transition process. But Gates supporters and opponents disagree on when.
He did more, in my mind, to disgrace himself yesterday, and his behavior was, in fact, undignified. And I'm simply saying, in no uncertain terms, now is the time.
It would be very concerning to people on the department because, you know, somebody's only here for a little while. What's going to happen during this period?
The City Council Public Safety Committee will begin its review of the Christopher Commission report on Monday.
And the LAPD is involved in another excessive force controversy tonight. It started with the shooting death of a teenager in southeast Los Angeles this afternoon. But that investigation is taking a back seat to a brawl between police and grieving relatives. Jody Baskerville has details.
A homicide investigation into the shooting death of 17-year-old Willie Nichols in south central Los Angeles touched off a violent confrontation between family members and police. More than 50 officers were needed to bring things under control. Witnesses say they used excessive force to do it.
About 4 or 5 of them grabbed me, and they struggled me right here in this area to the ground, and jumped on my sister, my niece, and a whole bunch of other people that was standing out here.
And then they started hitting me all in the back of my ear and on my fingers, grabbing us, tackling us, and harassing us.
What were they saying to you, Yvonne, when they were doing this?
They weren't saying anything but like, get back, move, move, move.
To continue their investigation, homicide detectives had to get a search warrant in order to gain access to the victim's grandmother's house. That's when the trouble started.
I couldn't believe my eyes right after the Rodney King incident. You would think that they would have some kind of stability, or somebody with some kind of common sense or authority that would calm the situation down.
After what police are describing as a brawl, 6 people were arrested for interfering with a police investigation. One man was charged with battery on an officer.
There was a melee, and it definitely got out of hand.
But not excessive force, in your opinion?
Oh, I didn't see any excessive force.
17-year-old Willie Nichols' younger brother was shot to death 2 years ago on the very same street.
It's a police work that had to be done, and sometimes you do things that people don't like what you're doing, and we understand their grief.
Relatives say they plan to file a complaint against the LAPD. Jody Baskerville, Channel 2 Action News.
On the other hand, a tearful mother thanked police today for the capture of a suspect in the murder of her son. James Robinson is being held tonight in the shooting deaths of 2 men at a Northridge Subway sandwich shop. James White and Brian Berry were killed in the robbery attempt 10 days ago.
I thank God that this person is off the streets and will never be able to do this to anyone else. I hope. It's an awful, awful experience, something you can't describe, to lose your son.
Police say Robinson was fired from that Subway shop just weeks before the robbery attempt.
A few folks back east are getting something extra with their California grapes, black widow spiders. At least 7 spiders were found in Southland-grown grapes shipped to markets in the Northeast. Growers here say when consumers demand fewer pesticides, they get more pests.
We're doing our best to catch those spiders. Some growers have actually given bounties of $1 or $5 per spider to try and encourage their farm workers to try and find more spiders.
Growers say workers are stepping up their inspections of grapes in the field.
Ever wonder what really happens to luggage that disappears at the airport? Tonight, 3 people are in jail in connection with an airport luggage theft ring. Glendale police arrested 3 suspects last night and seized more than 100 pieces of luggage. Officers say the ring operated in airports and other locations throughout the country and brought the luggage back to the LA area. Many of the theft victims, salesmen.
They were going for expensive luggage, or luggage that probably is assigned to salespersons, or the luggage that does look expensive, which contain expensive items.
Police say their investigation is still ongoing and they expect to make more arrests.
A surprise inspection of shuttle vans at LAX today turned up a number of safety violations. The California Public Utilities Commission says nearly half the vehicles checked were taken out of service. Among the violations, unsafe brakes, insufficient insurance, and burned out headlights. In a similar inspection at San Francisco Airport last year, more than half the vehicles or drivers flunked. The PUC says it plans to make more inspections at airports all around the state.
And we have much more ahead on Nightcast tonight. A fiery death for passengers aboard a commuter plane as it slams into homes.
A doctor says a popular TV host makes his patients sick, literally.
The premier heartthrob, Patrick Swayze, premieres his new film, Point Break.
I'm Michael Tuck. The most shocking thing about those racial slurs made by police. I'll have tonight's perspective.
If you want really great steak, you can go to a really great steakhouse, or you can come to Coco's. Both serve USDA choice corn-fed beef, like this juicy top sirloin. Both slow roast tender prime rib to bring out all the flavor, and both have unique specialty dishes like Coco's new pepper steak. So why choose Coco's for a great beef dinner? Our prices are a lot easier to swallow. Coco's, steakhouse quality beef, family restaurant prices.
Introducing HomeFed Bank's 5-month CD. It comes with a 0.5% interest bonus, a free interest-earning checking account with an anytime card, free image checks, a no-fee gold Visa card, free notary service, deluxe travel program benefits, and even free traveler's checks. Now, comparing all that to other bank CDs is a lot like, well, you get the picture.
What are you shopping for at Silo?
I'm here to make sure that my son doesn't get skinned alive.
That would never happen.
My son is not going to pay too much for his VCR.
Silo guarantees
He's
that-
getting a top brand like Sony or JVC, not some whatever.
Hey, that's just the beginning of,
And he won't be tolerating some incompetent salesperson, let me tell you.
Silo is different. We don't...
And now I suppose you'll try to tell me it's different at Silo. Well, we'll see about that.
Come on, Mom. Let's go.
You're getting just like your father. You asked me to come to Silo.
Televisions, audio, and appliances.
And now some words of value. Oldsmobile, Cutlass, Supreme. But hurry, they're going fast. For more information, see your Oldsmobile dealer today.
Quality. It isn't something that just happens. It's the product of experience. Throughout the real estate industry, one name stands for experience: RE/MAX. Our sales associates average nearly 10 years of experience, some more than 30. So before you buy or sell a home, remember the quality that comes only from experience. Choose RE/MAX.
A look at news making headlines tonight. 13 people are dead after a commuter plane crashed into 2 homes in Birmingham, Alabama. It happened during a heavy thunderstorm. 4 others on the ground were injured. The plane, a Beechcraft twin-engine turboprop, was on final approach to Birmingham from Mobile, Alabama.
The White House says Supreme Court nominee Clarence Thomas smoked part of a marijuana cigarette in college and perhaps once more in law school. It calls the matter inconsequential. Judge Thomas disclosed the information on an FBI form when he was confirmed to a United States appeals court.
President Bush today lifted 5-year-old economic sanctions against South Africa. The sanctions were blamed for bringing black unemployment there to 50% and for bringing the South African economy to its knees. Many U.S. companies still refuse to do business with South Africa.
As we told you earlier in the broadcast, the Christopher Commission today released transcripts from LAPD patrol car computers, transcripts that contain racist messages. Tonight, in his perspective, Michael Tuck says once again all the evidence points to Police Chief Daryl Gates.
You ever heard a racist comment where you work? I've never worked any place where I didn't hear one, at least once in a while. So it's not stunning news that some cops sound more like Grand Dragons in the Ku Klux Klan. Every segment of society has its share of racists, and police are no different. But that's where all similarities probably end between your job and the LAPD. Because if somebody wants to make a racist comment where you work, they probably have to sneak around to do it. They know that kind of talk is probably not tolerated. They know if the company gets wind of them calling black people monkeys, saying they'd like to use a flamethrower to barbecue blacks, the company wouldn't stand for it. Most self-respecting employers send a clear message. Racist comments and racist behavior won't be tolerated. But apparently not the LAPD. The biggest shock about what we've just learned is not that racism exists among police. The shock is that racist statements are made so openly, so free of any fear. In fact, some cops felt so confident that racial slurs were acceptable, they didn't hesitate to write them down on a permanent record and send them over police department computers. They were sure they could get away with it. Just as that handful of cops who went off on Rodney King that night were sure they could get away with it. In a public place where anybody could see what happened, in full view of nearly 24 other cops standing there and watching, they thought they could practically beat a helpless man to death and nobody would do anything about it. And you know something? Without that videotape, nobody would have. Not one cop who saw it happen even bothered to report it afterward. That may be the legacy of Daryl Gates. For 13 years, nobody held him accountable. And when it came to racism and brutality, he didn't hold his cops accountable either. The Christopher Commission is right. It's time to start some accountability. And it starts at the top. I'm Michael Tuck. That's my perspective.
Just ahead on Nightcast, Steve Rambo with the eclipse viewing forecast and eclipse watching tips.
Plus, Dorothy Lucy has eclipse mania, madness when the moon moons the sun.
And she's a popular TV host for sure, but she's making a Boston woman sick. Even doctors say so.
American Airlines proudly announces daily nonstop service from Los Angeles to London's Heathrow Airport. And with our expanded service from across the U.S., American will become the #1 American airline to London. So come with us to Great Britain's first city on America's #1 airline.
Hello?
Hi, Sam. Listen, I
really need to go.
Listen, can you hold on for a second? Some things are simply too good to be interrupted. The Legend sedan from Acura.
Hello. Sam, are you there? Sam?
Thanks to special lease rates, getting into a Legend coupe or Legend sedan has never been easier.
And now some helpful hints on recycling from Danny DeVito and Rhea Perlman.
Do it!
At Caro's, we make ordinary chicken extraordinary. We bake it to perfection. We saute it piccata. We toss it with pasta. We sauce it Florentine. We even simmer it in Grey Poupon. In fact, Caro's has 5 tempting new ways to enjoy chicken from only $5.99. So, when it comes to chicken, savor the classics. At Caro's, where we care. Right now, enjoy this weekday breakfast for only $3.39.
Smart businesses everywhere are discovering the post office. For dependable service and true value, there's Priority Mail with delivery in 2 days for $2.90. To keep dollars flowing and help the bottom line, there's Express Mail with delivery guaranteed next morning for just $9.95. For speed, reliability, and overall value, no one delivers for growing businesses like your post office.
We deliver for you.
The voice of television host Mary Hart sends at least one woman into fits of epileptic seizures. The report about Mary Hart was carried today in the prestigious New England Journal of Medicine. A doctor in Boston says his patient's seizures are triggered only by Hart's voice. Just her voice, nothing else.
There's the spike discharge. Now she's going into a seizure now. You could see the right side of the brain, the rhythmic discharge that's coming, that's the epileptiform discharge. She's actually going to partial.
Dr. Ramani says there's no explanation for this. He says that from his heart. The patient, meanwhile, no longer watches Entertainment Tonight. Now, that's an intelligent choice.
Easiest cure in modern medicine, I tell you. Steve,
Probably
how
paid
can
a pretty
you
penny for that piece of
follow
advice, huh?
I really would. I've always wanted to learn sign, and now I know that I should have done it when I thought about it, so I could just sign this and I wouldn't have to worry about voice problems. Hey, look, the Olympic Festival taking place, the rehearsals going on tonight over at Dodger Stadium. Isn't that fun? Oh, well. Temperatures, let's do it. 76, the high, 63. Mary Hart, and epileptic seizures. Partly cloudy at 64 degrees, 84% humidity, winds west at 9. I wonder if she can insure her voice. You know, aren't her legs insured? Now she has to do her voice malpractice or something. 29.95, the barometric pressure, and here's what's going on out there now. Morning clouds may indeed hide our eclipse. We still have that marine layer marching inland. As this morning, it was covered pretty far inland, then it burned off during the day, and we'll see the same thing. It's already starting to approach the coast tonight, and we should have cloudy skies all along the coast, 8 to 10 miles inland from the coast. We're expecting to see the clouds in the morning. That means if you're within 12 miles of the coastline, chances are you will not see the eclipse, at least until afternoon, and it's only going to last then another 45 minutes. More on that in a moment. First, let's take a look at the tide episode. Because of the moon being so close right now, we have a little gravitational action going on that's forcing up the ocean. So we have a high tide, 7.2 tide for tomorrow night at 9:28 in the evening, 7 feet on Friday night and Saturday night at 6.5 feet. That means for folks in Newport Beach and Sunset areas down in Long Beach, you may see a little bit of lowland flooding. Here's what the next 5 days are going to check in with. Morning clouds, temperatures in the 60s, afternoons in the 80s, and some sunshine, of course. Now let's go for some details in your forecast as we also give you some tips on watching the eclipse in just a minute. First, back to Dodger Stadium. The morning clouds, as we have said, may threaten to hide the eclipse. High tomorrow, 82 degrees. Eastern valleys may clear in time to see it, but if you're in the San Fernando Valley and the western section of the San Gabriel Valley, you may be out of luck. If you're in the coast, again, sky watching will not be your thing to do until late in the afternoon. The best viewing possible in the mountains above 2,500 feet. And if you can't do that, how about the deserts where they're expecting 25 miles of visibility? Things should be fantastic. Okay, guys, are you ready to make your eclipse boxes here?
Absolutely.
We've already made ours.
You made it for us.
Well, I'm going to show you how to make them.
Okay.
I'm going to show you how to make them. First off, today, a lot of people have been getting these Mylar filters, and you just look directly into the filter, you know, and look up at the sun. Well, today the American Ophthalmological Society Academy said, forget it. It's not that there's something wrong with them. The problem is they're afraid that so many have been mass-produced that the quality may not be guaranteed.
Not
and therefore,
worth gambling.
not worth gambling your eyesight. Imagine seeing a flash bulb for the rest of your life. So let's do this indirect looking. What you do is you take a nice box, cut a hole in one side, put aluminum foil, put aluminum foil
on that hole and punch a little pinhole in that. On the opposite side of that box, a white sheet of paper. In the side of the box, cut yourself a view hole and then put the top on it. Take this end, point it at the sun, peek in through that side, and what you will see on the inside here is the little dot that will represent the sun, and you can see the eclipse right through here. Really good.
We made those in grade school.
Yeah, they're very simple to
Absolutely.
make. White piece of paper, hole in one side, hole in the other side, or watch us here. I mean, this is going to be the best viewed eclipse worldwide, so there'll be a lot of views on TV too.
Meanwhile, of course, you know, we all know epileptic seizures are no laughing matter. And
No, they're
I know
not
you
a
weren't
laughing
joking
matter. I
about
was
that.
joking about that.
We thought we might
No, it
just
was on.
want to say
We
that.
mean no
That's right.
disrespect to anyone with epilepsy.
Not at all. And it was an easy cure, just switch the channel, right? Well, now that you know how to watch the eclipse and how to avoid the seizures that one woman suffered, we'll find out what lengths people will go to see the eclipse.
Have you seen the latest issue of Vanity Fair? Demi Moore, art or obscenity?
And we'll take you to a good old-fashioned Hollywood premiere, Patrick Swayze's new movie. Stay with us.
Why are thousands flocking to the Franchise and Business Opportunities Expo?
I just got tired of working for other people. I wanted to get my own business.
I thought something possibly for myself might be a lot more lucrative and a lot more fun.
Wouldn't everyone like to be their own boss?
Tired of working for someone else? Go to the Franchise and Business Opportunities Expo. Franchises, dealerships, home businesses, investments. You'll find them all this weekend at the Anaheim Convention Center.
I never knew there was that many opportunities out there.
It's terrific.
I'm Chris Kanangla.
I'm Terry Anzer.
Join us each weekday morning for Action News AM.
For the latest news, weather, and traffic updates.
That's Channel 2 Action News AM, weekdays at 6.
Just another phone number, right? Not exactly. This number can mean a beautiful add-on for your home, a new pool, an exotic vacation, or the cash you need to consolidate your bills. You see, Ames arranges quality equity loans for homeowners at competitive rates with no credit hassles. So discover what so many Californians already know. When it comes to borrowing, one number does it all. All right, quit showing off.
As Steve Rambo reminded us, the total eclipse of the sun happens tomorrow, and such an unusual event in the sky is causing some unusual things to happen right here on Earth. Dorothy Lucy has that.
Ocean View. I'm sorry, we're totally sold out.
It rings more often than Julia Roberts' publicist's phone, and the refrain is always the same: yes, we have no glasses.
It's gone out of control. We thought we were pretty well prepared for the eclipse onslaught today. We've been selling them very well all week long. Today we were able to get one last shipment from our supplier of a little over 1,000 of the Mylar Eclipse glasses.
But it's not exactly the same as having on a pair of, at least cost 45 cents to manufacture and sold for $5 glasses.
The Mylar glasses recommended for viewing the eclipse have brought crowds to Ocean View Instruments, a Newport Beach telescope store that's normally pretty quiet.
We had a line of customers, maybe 100 deep, going out the door down to the Rusty Pelican restaurant, waiting to get their Mylar glasses. And we couldn't write the receipts fast enough, just one after another.
I rushed down here from Westminster, and I have one of the last pairs left.
Eclipse excitement is everywhere, from Hawaii to Hollywood.
It's the most monumental, historical, astrological happening in the century.
Hidden in this back office, I found these secret stash of glasses, but to get a pair of these, you have to have your name on a reservation list, you have to be a family member, you have to know somebody, or you have to be extremely sneaky. I'm out of here. I'm Dorothy Lucy, Channel 2 Action News Nightcast.
Good for Dorothy. Now a question for all of you mothers who are watching us this evening. When you were last pregnant, would you have appeared nude on a magazine cover? Actress Demi Moore did, showing up on the August edition of Vanity Fair. Moore and her husband, Bruce Willis, are expecting this baby in late August. It will be their second. Vanity Fair editor Tina Brown says the photo essay on Moore, quote, breaks the mold of celebrity glamour. I'm kind of proud for her. I think it's nice.
Oh, is it okay for me too?
It would be fine.
Oh, stars and surfers were out tonight in Westwood for the premiere of the new movie Point Break. It's not what I expected to hear. Arnold Schwarzenegger was among the stars who came out for the show. Point Break is about an FBI agent who goes undercover in a gang of bank robbing surfers. Star Patrick Swayze was in Westwood along with co-star Keanu Reeves, who also gave our cameras a special hello.
Did he?
Yeah.
Good. And now from Point Break to Break Point. Sports is next on Nightcast.
And Jimmy Connor and team tennis. Will this work? Rory has details on that. Please stay with us.
A lot of home improvement stores claim to have the lowest prices, but ask yourself, are they really on the level? On July 1st, we compared these items at Home Club and Kmart, and Home Club savings were impressive. For example, Home Club sells Stern's Miracle Grow plant food for only $6.88. That's a savings of over 34%. So if you want to balance your budget, you better go to Home Club. Home Club, no membership. Everyone gets our lowest prices.
Now, El Torito's famous fajitas are better than ever. Because now our sizzling fajita combos are among over 40 big, delicious Mexican meals for under $7.99 every day. Sizzling steak or chicken fajita combos with a taco, an enchilada, or taquitos, and even a delicious chocolate mousse dessert, all for just $7.95 at El Torito.
You couldn't have dreamed of a better time to save than this. The Mazda Summer Savings Express is here, and the savings are going fast and furious. Mazda value packs can save you as much as $2,575. Limited time incentives can save you up to $2,000. But hurry, these savings are meant to move fast. That was fast.
At your local Mazda dealer now.
This summer, everyone's going to Sherwood Forest. See the most popular summer movie in America. Kevin Costner is Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, rated PG-13. Now playing at a theater near you.
The Wiener Dude No Bummer Summer kicks into high gear with our all-new and extremely strange Wiener Dude cups. You get one free when you buy a large Pepsi at Wiener Schnitzel. You'll love the outrageous new colors and the amazing spill stopper top, and you'll spend hours enjoying the swell Wiener Dude jokes, providing you a real easy audience and a real slow reader. And while you're at it, try Wiener Schnitzel's new Big Dude. It's a great way to have your cup and eat it too. We're not sure what that means either, but we do know supplies are limited, so start collecting all 6 Wiener Dude cups today, only at Wiener Schnitzel.
Sir, your exterminating service is one of the few businesses that doesn't advertise in the GTE Everything pages. Why is that?
Well, it's because I met Dave. If I advertised in that book, I'd have thousands of customers wanting me to hunt down Dave's family. What? Dave says he'd really hate that.
Businesses that want to be successful advertise in the GTE Everything pages. Those that don't.
Keith's off tonight. Rory is here with an editorially creative sportscast.
Thanks so much, Jim. It's not often that we lead with team tennis, but the Los Angeles Strings did open their season, and they do have Jimmy Connors this season. It's been a while since Connors has played team tennis, and he was momentarily confused, thinking his tennis racket is a guitar. The Strings hope Connors will help them draw crowds, and in his debut with the team, Jimmy played fairly well. Connors in the far court here against Trevor Kroneman of the Charlotte Heat. Trevor has to go wide left, and Connors takes advantage to win the point. The set goes to a tiebreaker, and Connors makes the home crowd happy by nailing this backhander down the line for the winner. He didn't play brilliantly, but it was entertaining. Chris Everett might be thinking, I can't believe they're playing doubles together. But it is Connors and John Lloyd. Connors puts it away. The Strings win the match 27-19, and Jimmy likes having a co-ed team.
We're going to be traveling, and we're going to spend a lot of time together, so you might as well get to know each other the first night. Did that come out right? I don't think so. Cut!
Boxing fans will want to circle November 8 on the calendar. Agreement has been reached for a Tyson Holyfield heavyweight championship bout at Caesars Palace in Las Vegas. Mike Tyson's promoter Don King finally agreed to accept a $15 million payday for Tyson, while Evander Holyfield will earn $30 million. This deal leaves George Foreman as the odd man out at the moment. It's not exactly a tournament, but college football is closer to a national championship game. The Fiesta Bowl has joined the Sugar, Cotton, and Orange Bowl in an alliance in which one of these games could determine a #1 team. Teams from the Southwest, Big 8, SEC, ACC, and Big East conferences, along with Notre Dame and 2 at-large schools, hope to put the 2 highest-ranked teams into one decisive bowl game. The map showing the location of the games is not the best-looking map I've ever seen. In fact, it appears that Baja California is now part of the Union, and I look forward to plenty of good football action down in that area. Fernando Valenzuela was odd man out last week when the Angels put him on waivers, but now, having cleared waivers, Fernando has signed a minor league contract with the Halos. He'll pitch Friday for Midland in the AA Texas League. The Angels will reevaluate him after 30 days. The San Pedro Peck Park Corey League team of 13 and 14-year-olds have left for Miami. We brought you their story Monday, which included their quest to raise the funds to make the trip. The company that produces Jose Canseco's candy bar, Latin Foods, came through along with Jose, donating $2,000 to help make the trip possible. The team will receive the money before their opening game Saturday. More All-Star Baseball. This is the AAA game in Louisville, and the defensive play of the game is made by Jeff Gardner of the Tidewater Tides. He robs Angel farmhand Chad Curtis. The pride of the Tucson Toros, Gary Cooper, gets the game-winning hit in the bottom of the 8th as the National Leaguers rally to win. His double off the wall in right scores 2, and the NL gets a 6-5 victory. 15-year NBA veteran Moses Malone is the newest member of the Milwaukee Bucks. Malone signed a 2-year contract. Moses played for Coach Del Harris in Houston, and he is reunited with his old boss, who wastes no time inserting Malone's name ahead of Danny Shea's on the depth chart. Good decision, Coach. Most major sporting events are held in Halifax, Nova Scotia. And the WBL All-Star Extravaganza is no exception. Mario Donaldson jumping over 3 people in the slam dunk competition. Kansas fans will recognize Milt Newton. He starts the ball behind the back and turns it into an impressive dunk, earning a 10 and winning the event. The best attempt of the night belongs to Darren Queenan. He slams one, then tries to catch another one and dunk, but it's no good. And what good is an All-Star game without Scottish Highlanders? The traditional dance around the swords is something I've always enjoyed on the basketball court. Now, whoever finishes last in the slam dunk contest has to get into the cannon and be shot out of the arena. Talk about an unconditional release. Just kidding.
We're released now, too.
But kidding nicely. Yeah, that'll do it. Thanks very much for being with us tonight.
Good night. Stay tuned now for Crime Time After Prime Time, Scene of the Crime. Good night.
Here.